Up with KREM begins now.
Time to rise and shine here on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to get you ready this morning with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. So Thomas, I think I'm going to say it every single day. Today is the last Wednesday now of summer.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
We're ending very summer-like, right?
Yes. I think with temperatures in the mid 80s, it's like just to that point where it's like, ooh, do I want to use the AC maybe even just for an hour or two in the heat of the afternoon? So for me, because it's always a little bit cooler in the morning, I can help to offset. Maybe it's a little cool in the morning, a little warm in the afternoon. If we kind of split that difference, we're in the sweet spot of the summer season, even if it is the last week of the summer season officially. But 61 is pretty mild right now with the sun just coming around the eastern corners there. We're about half hour away to sunrise, but it is more than 10 degrees warmer today compared to yesterday. So that will hold true again this afternoon, meaning that it's even warmer yet by the time we get to those high temperatures.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning. You can see traffic moving great here on this Wednesday. No issues to report. We are smooth sailing, what we like to see here. This is a live look at I-90 and Pines in Spokane Valley. We'll keep you updated on traffic throughout the morning, let you know if there's any problem spots. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes.
In our Boomtown series, we highlight the growth around the inland Northwest. In North Idaho, an increase in population has led to more traffic.
So today, the Idaho Department of Transportation wants your feedback as it plans for major future projects in the Rathdrum Prairie area. KREM 2's Christian Garza live this morning for us with more on how you can make sure your voice is heard. Good morning, Christian. Tell us about it.
Yeah, good morning, Tim and Nicole. Well, as North Idaho continues to grow, the Idaho Transportation Department is bringing 13 different projects to solve things like traffic and safety issues here in the Rathdrum Prairie area to the table for the community to give their input on. Now, since 2022, the department has been working with the community through different forums to learn and build plans of action for problems North Idaho residents are facing, whether that's dealing with traffic congestion, pinpointing high crash areas, and creating safer connections for those without cars. Now, Heather McDaniel, a spokesperson with ITD, says this plan that they're working on with the community will not only help people living in the area currently, but it will also help develop the Rathdrum Prairie area for decades.
Obviously, we've seen a lot of growth over the last few years, especially here in North Idaho. And so developing a transportation system and a transportation plan that's going to effectively be able to handle all of those increases. We're basing everything off of traffic modeling and projections for the year 2045. So realistically, looking at what we anticipate those numbers to be over the next few years, next 20 years, and kind of develop our planning accordingly.
McDaniel says throughout the last couple of years, the department has had close to 50 different potential projects to help improve traffic and safety throughout the area, but they have since whittled that number down to 13, which they will be presenting to the community today and tomorrow. McDaniel says community input is crucial for the department as they move forward in this process.
So we're designing projects that are for the community. And so it's really important for us to gather feedback on what people think, obviously, especially when it comes to new alignments and things like that. Certain people are affected to a higher degree, meaning that maybe their property is impacted or their business is impacted. And so it's really important for us to gather the feedback, make sure that people are well informed about the planning and the planning process that we're working through, and then also to get the feedback and make sure that the projects that we're designing are also going to fit the needs of the community as well.
Today's community meeting will be from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Coeur d'Alene Chamber of Commerce building, and tomorrow's meeting will be at the same time but at the Camille Park Trailhead Event Center in Post Falls. But don't worry if you can't make it in person, but you also still want to maybe check out the different projects and see what they look like. You can do so on the department's website. I will say that it is not live as of right now, but it will be at 4 p.m. today. You have until October 1st to submit that feedback for consideration on these projects, though I will say. they also have different forums planned for 2026 as well. So if you can't make it to these ones, don't worry, you still have a chance here next year as well. But coming up in the next half hour, we're actually going to talk about what construction timelines look like for people living in this area. In North Idaho, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Yeah, Christian, lots of growth in North Idaho. Spokane's Bicycling Advisory Board hit the streets to look at where they can improve safety and accessibility for the city's cycling community.
The purpose of this advisory board is to help give city leaders direction on cyclist issues. Last night, the board took their meeting literally on the road. They traveled nearly 10 miles on their bikes, going through several different neighborhoods. Now, in the past, the Bicycling Advisory Board has made an effort to have wider bike lanes, longer times at intersections for cyclists to get across, and locked up bike parking downtown.
Peak for use of the Centennial Trail up in Kendall Yards for bicyclists is more than 650 bikes in a day. And we'd like to see those numbers everywhere in town.
The board hopes people who were at the meeting now have a better understanding of what cyclists deal with and ways the city can help. There's a $1.3 million plan to expand the Boise ICE office. This is part of President Trump's spending bill that gave ICE a $75 billion budget. That's a huge increase from the current $30 billion budget. A Boise-based architecture firm, Erstad, filed a permit for the office expansion. It says ICE is planning to remove and add walls to reconfigure the office area and create new storage rooms. Also in South Idaho, a family filed a tort claim against the Boise School District. The family says their daughter encountered a biological male in a women's restroom at Boise High.
So the family says their daughter suffered psychological harm from 2 encounters during last school year and transferred to another school. The claim filed by the Idaho Family Policy Center is based on a Senate bill, an Idaho law requiring sex-separated bathrooms in schools. In a statement on the tort claim, the Boise School District says it was prohibited from enforcing this law because of a federal court injunction. The district emphasized in the statement a tort claim is just an allegation and does not establish liability. The school district now has 90 days to respond before a lawsuit can be filed. This morning, students returned to the Utah campus where Charlie Kirk was assassinated just 1 week ago today. And Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old Utah man accused of assassinating Kirk, has now been charged with aggravated murder. Yesterday, prosecutors filed the charges and released more details of the case.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime.
Prosecutors say they have an alleged confession by Robinson and text messages to his roommate in which he mentioned details of the gun used in the shooting. Robinson is being held in the Utah County Jail without bail. Today, analysts expect the Federal Reserve to reduce interest rates today for the first time since December.
So most estimate at least a quarter-point decrease, which would likely make it cheaper to borrow money. Meanwhile, FICO is reporting the biggest credit score drop since the Great Recession. And on top of debt, a Fed interest rate could also increase inflation. That's something many economists say tariffs are already doing. The cuts could have an impact on yield savings accounts and retirement funds in the stock market.
Well, today's weather is going to be completely sunny when we get to sunrise, which is just about 20 minutes away here. But while we are losing a lot of daylight per day, the sunshine that we get today is going to work wonders. The afternoon high temperatures will be up to 84 degrees, which is even another 5 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. So the summer heat still here. This is still more than warm enough. And we'll see how long this carries before we get to another storm system. It might not give us a whole lot of rainfall, but we could have a windy weather day by the time we get to next week.
Wow, check this out. A trail camera near Kettle River caught a bald eagle and several coyotes fighting over a deer. So this was caught on camera by Craig Dunn from Ferry County.
This is definitely not something you see very often.
Whoa.
So if you're not looking, take a look now. You can see the bird going after the coyotes and then them trying to fight back, but really looks like they're more running away than fighting back. I guess I just didn't realize how big eagles were compared to coyotes.
Wow.